Welcome to the Wealth Defenders with Terry Cox. It's the show about getting your money right and making sure you have the retirement you've always dreamed about. Consumer advocate Bruce Rosenblum here with you as well. And it is such a pleasure to be here with the man himself, the man who has nearly 20 years in the finance game, and he wants to make sure all that experience works for you, Mr. Terry Cox. Terry, great to be back with you.
Hello, Bruce. How are you, my friend?
Oh, doing fantastic. And of course, I got to mention, we have leads on this program. No cost, no obligation, financial reviews later on down the line. But let's talk about that later, Terry. I forgot to mention that. I do it every time we talk. Superman, tell you, we are in the month of July, and this new Superman film is looking pretty good. I haven't seen it yet, but it's looking pretty good.
Nice. Are you a Superman fan?
I mean, I do like the Man of Steel. I like how colorful it is. Like, thinking back to the Christopher Reeves era.
Yeah.
Just how colorful he was and, what he stood for, the values, truth, justice, the American way.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it. Marvel's strayed away from that a bit. Marvel's more generic, but Superman was always the American superhero. I like that.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And I think we out there want to have a super retirement as well. Not to be cheesy or anything, but we want your retirement to be super. We want it to be comfortable too, because the Man of Steel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you have that strength, you're always comfortable. We want you to have that strength in retirement too, right? And you do that for people every day.
Yeah, give them confidence.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yep.
I know we picked up last time we talked about mistakes that you out there might be making when it comes to getting your money right. And that was a great conversation we had, because I think the big takeaway, one of the biggest mistakes people are making, they're not conceptualizing the finish line. Because I think if you cannot see what the finish line looks like, you can't get there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And and it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and in life and the rat race. And years just go by, and all of a sudden you just wake up one day and you're like, wait, how old am I? What just happened?
Tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes faster every year. So, that's one of the things that we like to do when we're having conversations with people, just slow them down a little bit and say, okay, yeah, I know you're in the rat race, you're in the thick of things, but let's just take a time out and let's talk about where you're at, your portfolio, and, how far away from the finish line are you?
That's right. And I think this applies to me too, because I'm approaching 40, and I'd rather not hit that milestone, but I have to. That's just the way it goes,
Yeah.
So I'm curious how you would slow me down a bit when it comes to the financial planning side of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd sit down, we'd take a look at your financial plan. How are your contributions going? Are you making them regularly? Is it something that's consistent? And when would you like to stop? And because like you said, you get caught up in the day to day and things are just going to go flying by. But if we can just get you to sit down and let's have a 30-minute, 45-minute conversation about you and what your goals are and what your dreams are and where are we on the calendar,
Ooh, I like that. See, that gives me the warm and fuzzy feeling that I really want to have when it comes to money, because this is serious business, especially these days with inflation the way it is and the political situation. I think you can't afford not to have your money right. That's the bottom line.
That's right. Because we want to retire, right? Someday, but all this other stuff isn't going to retire.
That's right.
The headlines aren't going to retire. Inflation, taxes, that's all going to be there. It's all part of it's part of the long-term plan.
That's it.
As well, because you got to take into consideration what kind of retirement plan do you have? If you're in a 401k or an IRA, that you're getting tax deductions in the year of your contributions, those dollars are growing tax deferred, but at some point you're going to take those out of the account and they're going to be taxed again.
Right.
So thinking about how much money is really in that portfolio, how much is in that 401k or that IRA, because there's going to be taxes coming out of that.
Yeah. And it seems like you really got to do this the right way, because I know we talked a couple shows back about my friend who got laid off, and he did that conversion, that 401k to Roth conversion incorrectly.
Yeah.
And he got hit with a massive tax bill, and that could have been avoided if he talked to somebody like you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Roth conversion, awesome idea, fantastic idea, but you got to do it maybe in segments, because when you do that conversion, it's a taxable event.
Ooh.
So depending on how much money is in that account that you do a conversion on, I mean, it could blow you into the next tax bracket, maybe two.
Yeah, right.
Depending on,
right.
Yeah.
Now, Terry, I got to ask you a question, because I hear a lot of people talking about tax brackets, and there are some people who say, well, they advise you actually against making more money. They say, don't get that promotion at work if you've been offered it, because it might bump you up into another tax bracket and it'll cost you more. Is there any truth to that advice? Is that good advice to take?
It could be, for sure. And that's why when we take on clients, we like to know who their tax preparer is, if they have one. And you probably need one as the income goes up, because that could in fact affect you. So if we can do things that help offset that, I mean, that might be a great time to put more money into your tax deferred account, your 401k, because you're getting the deduction in the year of contribution. So if your raise pushes you into the next tax bracket, maybe we just increase your contributions to bring you down back below.
Oh, okay. So it's about hitting this switch over here in response to this lever getting thrown over here, and just, knowing what steps to take to balance things out, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, by and large, people don't think about things like that,
No.
because like we said earlier, we're in the rat race. We've got our family, we're raising kids, we're doing, whatever it is we're doing. And those thoughts just go to the back of our mind, and we don't really think about it.
Yeah, right. And see, this is what I want, because Terry, as you know, there's always the conventional advice you get. Sometimes you get it from doctors, sometimes you get it from other people, but then there's the real advice that not many people talk about, but it actually works.
Yeah.
It's the advice that is only known by true experts, the cutting edge people. That's the advice that I want, especially when it comes to managing money here, because that's the advice that really gets you ahead of the curve. And, I want to see those arrows go up on my accounts. I want the green arrows all the time. And I know it's not always possible, right? But,
all the upside, none of the downside, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, I mean, there's so much going on in our lives, and there's so many distractions. And that's why, we like to market and try to get ourselves out there just to get eyeballs in front of us to listen to our advice.
Sure.
And saying, hey, you know what? You get one shot, you get one race, and if you take your 40-year window, say you're working from 25 to 65, and suddenly you take that down to a 20-year window because you haven't been paying attention or whatever. Now there's catch up. Now you got to try to figure out how to make up that first 20 years that maybe didn't go so well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The earlier, the better. But it's not a lost cause, because there's plenty of instruments out there that we can create income. We can do. Recently, we just did a custom, what we call a custom note for clients that needed more income, and they wanted a CD, but traditional CDs right now are paying maybe 4.25%. They're going down as the Fed, if the Fed starts cutting rates. But we were able to build a custom note and get a higher yield out of things like that for our clients. So. That's why we like to have those conversations, because like I said, I think in the last episode, is we have a very large tool chest right now. So we can more than likely help you meet your needs, whether it's growth, whether it's income, whether it's stability, a personal pension, we can probably figure it out for you.
And it's tailor made too. That's what I like. It's not like you're going to a bank and they're just giving you this generic blueprint that they're told to push on clients. No, you're looking at people's lives and people's dreams and their individual goals and saying, you know what, with what you have, we can do this for you and get you there. That's what I like. It's like real backwards planning, understanding exactly where people want to go, and then building a plan, going backwards and establishing checkpoints. So they got a roadmap to follow here so they can actually get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons you've seen a shift in this industry. Yeah. People moving away from commission-based accounts into fiduciary accounts or fee-based accounts. And that way, commissions is not always the name of the game. So that's bygone. That's yesterday. So now that just frees the advisors up to bring great quality plans to their clients and meet their needs. They don't have pressure on them, from a company that says, hey, you need to sell this.
Right.
We need you to generate X this month or whatever. So yeah, that pressure is gone.
So the game that has changed, the financial planning game really has changed. Where do you see it going though in the future? What's the next era of financial planning that we're moving into here?
Well, a lot of stuff that we're seeing now, maybe not a lot, but it's increasing, I should say, is the robo investors.
The AI stuff.
As AI comes along and they're just looking for algorithms. And, from a cost standpoint, that sounds nice, but the algorithm, the AI doesn't know you. It doesn't know when you're planning on. You're not feeding it information,
right,
and spitting out a custom plan for you, which is what advisors do. The ones that are worth their salt for sure.
Right. The AI cannot take a human approach yet.
Right.
It's scary though. It really is, because I saw the news a while back how the OpenAI founder Sam Altman has partnered with the original iPhone designer, and they're going to come up with a new device that's going to put AI in everybody's pocket. And I cannot wait to see what that device is, because this might be another iPhone moment. This might change the entire world here. And it got me thinking, what if there was a device for retirement planning? Could we move in that direction? A device that allowed you to get the insight without having to go to a financial advisor? And I thought, no, probably not, because like you said, the machines cannot relate to you on a human level yet.
Right. And will they ever be able to read market conditions and tell you that it's time to de-risk or opportunity? Because we talk about risk and we talk about de-risking and planning and all that, but there's also times of opportunity.
Sure.
When great companies, maybe they miss earnings or something happens and their price corrects maybe 10, 15, 20%.
Sure.
The company's not going anywhere. Great time to add some more to your position. And that's really where the real wealth gets created in moments like that.
Absolutely. And then there's also the question, do you want the Terminator managing your money? Do you want the robot in charge of your accounts? I don't know if I want to make that leap yet, because I'd rather have somebody who's flesh and blood and who knows me and who can relate to me, who I can trust. I don't know. These machines, I mean, we trust them with a lot so much already. I mean, we trust them with our driving and so many other things. But I don't know if we can take that leap with the money side. It'll probably happen, but I don't know if I can jump into that just yet.
Yeah. I don't know that I could do that one. I like the I like feelings. I like emotions.
Yeah.
And I like to know what people are dealing with and what they're feeling about, because I don't like to have a conversation, or I should say I don't like to have a monologue. I like to have a dialogue.
That's it.
So, I don't want somebody just to come in and sit at my desk and listen to what I have to say all day. Tell me what you want, because that's when relationships get really fun, is when clients start having input and they're like, hey, you know what? I've been watching XYZ. Is there any, I kind of like it. Is there a place for it in my portfolio?
That's it.
And that's when you strengthen relationships. That's when relationships get better. It's a good two-way street.
Absolutely. And this is also why we never script our show.
That's right.
I know some advisors, they want to script things, but it ends up sounding canned and rehearsed, and we're not about that. We want to go off the cuff here and just have a real conversation. It's two real guys talking about money and everything else. So that's why the Wealth Defenders exist here, right here. And that's why I love doing the show with you there every week. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though, I think we got to cover something that has been in the news recently, because I know people out there, they've got opinions on this. They've seen this. They saw President Trump talking about this initiative to give $1,000 in stock money to every kid born between 2005 and 2009. And this is controversial. This is very controversial. A billionaire suggested this idea earlier this year, and I didn't think anybody would pick up on it, but sure enough, the White House did.
Yeah.
Our lawmakers did. So this concept of giving every kid in America $1,000 and having that as a stock option for people, what do you think of it?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you think about how much money over the course of your lifetime that you're going to pay into Social Security, and when you finally start taking it, how much are you actually going to get? So, there's always been the argument, okay, give me my Social Security money back that I'm paying in and let me invest it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just a portion of your cash that you can actually manage. And you think about, so we've talked about the rule of 72, the rule of 72, talking about how long it takes your money to double. And real quick, you take the number 72, you divide into it your average rate of return. Let's say you're getting 8%.
Yeah.
The answer is 9. That's how many years it takes your money to double. So if you take that into consideration and you think about the money that they're giving the kids as they get started, it just puts them in a great place. It takes a little pressure off of them, because now when they go out and get their first job and they're looking to put a down payment on a house, I think it's a good idea.
I'm with you. I'm with you on giving people the freedom to manage that money, because that was a passing thought that I had many years ago. Why not let me chart my own course here when it comes to retirement? Why does the government get to have a say in this? Because as we know, federal things are not always properly managed. And that's putting it in a very tactful kind of way.
Yes.
So I think, I do think there's some merit in this idea. The question is just, what are they cutting on the back end to fund this thing? And it seems like there are some cuts coming from elsewhere, but that's a different conversation here. But also there's a question of what are the funds going to be tied to? And I think, I don't think we know yet. Are the funds going to be tied to a fixed ETF, or is it going to be tied to something else, or can we change that? I don't know.
I don't know, but my guess would be that it's going to be like a target dates type of fund.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with those? So the target date funds, they create, like if they created one here in 2025 and they create it for 2065, it's a 40-year target date. So right now it's very aggressive. It's probably 100% stocks, 100% equity.
Sure.
But every few years they go by, it kind of de-risk itself. So by the time you get to 2065, it's probably a 90% bond portfolio.
Okay.
So it just kind of self-corrects over time.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So there's some method to this madness here, and I like that.
That's what a lot of the 529, the college savings plans, that's what a lot of those look like. They're age-based and they're target date funds.
Got it.
Yeah.
I wonder what this will do to Social Security, though. Can we still claim it? Is that still a thing? Is it going to even be here when those kids who get the money turn of age? That's the big question here, because I know you said it might run out in the next 9 years or something like that. I'm biting my nails because I really hope that'll be available to me when I'm at retirement age.
Yeah, I think it's fixable, but right now it's not urgent to be fixed. And you just mentioned the federal government running things, so
yes.
But even there's a movie floating around out there called the Baby Boomer Dilemma.
Dilemma. Yes.
Yeah, and in that they talk about if we get down whatever it is 8, 9, 10 years from now and it hasn't been fixed, they're talking about everybody could take a 25 to 33% cut across the board just to prolong it. Yeah. And if that's your retirement plan, that there's a whole new wrinkle, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually one of the mistakes that we were going to talk about today. It's claiming Social Security too early, because it seems like there's an optimal strategy to claiming Social Security, but most people don't know about it, right?
Yeah. And it's always tempting to take it early, but I believe the number is 8%. Every year that you defer, you get like an 8% raise or something to that effect. So you got to kind of do the math. Am I still working? Because I think there's an age 65 rule there that if you are still working a job and you make so much money and you're collecting your Social Security,
yes,
I believe there's a tax on the Social Security at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
But we do have tools that we can talk about that with our clients, as well as the optimal time to take Social Security.
That's right. And that's all on TDC.financial, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I love the menu. There's just a menu of services on TDC.financial. And that's what I love. It's not just about one facet of retirement planning, because this is a multifaceted deal. There's a lot of heads to this dragon when it comes to money management here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not just about retirement. We talk a lot about retirement plans, 401ks, Roths. Sometimes people don't want those. They want something else. So you can have an investor's account, what we refer to as a retail account or a single account that has no tax shelter attached to it or anything like that. So there's no rules of how much money you can put into the account. There's no age 59 and a half before I can take money out, without penalty and all that kind of stuff, which is becoming a bigger topic of conversation in my office.
Really?
Because a lot of younger guys have great jobs. And they're making really good money.
Yeah.
And they're retiring early. So if you retire at 45 or 50 and all of your money's in a retirement account that's going to penalize you if you take money out before 59 and a half.
Right.
Now that's a little bit of a problem right there. So we've been having those conversations pretty regularly over the last 3-4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting because if you were in that situation, if you were lucky enough to be in that situation, I guess you would want some liquidity in your accounts so you can make use of that stuff. Because, like you said, if it's locked up and you can't use it, then you can't retire. Then you couldn't do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to have something outside of the retirement plans, something that you can get your hands on. And you can still create, if you need tax breaks or shelters or whatever, you can still create that in a non-qualified account. You can buy tax-free bonds that are issued by states or governments or municipalities, and the interest payments that they pay you on that is federally tax-free.
Ooh. And
if you buy something from the state in which you live, the income is federally and state tax exempt, which could be a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. And it speaks volumes about what you can do when you're in that situation, and always also what you should be doing to come out on top. And I know we've got a lot of crypto wizards who watch the show, and a lot of young professionals who have done very well for themselves, and they're in a great position, but they want to take it to the next level and really solidify their financial footing. They can get a hold of you for proper guidance, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we like we always talk about, we set aside appointments every week for listeners of the show, no cost, no obligation. But if you have a situation that you would like to talk about, I'm happy to talk about it with you for sure.
Love that. With that in mind, let's go ahead and put the number on the screen right now. Yeah. Also, tdc.financial. The number and tdc.financial. This is how you can connect with Terry and the entire Wealth Defenders crew here. They're going to help you get your money right. If you have some or if you have a little, it doesn't matter what you have. He's got the tools that are going to help you maximize your options and make sure your retirement is all squared away. And
that's right.
With that in mind, Terry, I know we're coming up on time here. Anything else you want to tell the people about mistakes, about this $1,000 initiative, anything at all we talked about?
So keep in mind, it doesn't matter what your account size is, big, small, somewhere in between. The bottom line is it's yours. That's your account, that's your money, and you've got your hopes and you've got your dreams. And if you have questions about about accomplishing those hopes and dreams, give us a call. We can talk through that. These initiatives, do they apply to you? What does it mean? We can talk through all of those issues, but the main point is just to get the conversation started. Let's find out who you are, where you're going, and when you want to get there.
Ooh, love that. Fantastic way to end the show this month, Terry. Appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much for setting me straight and just making sure that my money's right and everybody else's money's right too.
Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure, Bruce. I enjoy these conversations, and hopefully our listeners do too.
Absolutely. Well, with that in mind, let's stick a fork in it and call it done. We will see you next time on the Wealth Defenders.